So we now finished the instructions for the yoke, and we are at the part where we have to separate the body from the sleeves. So to make sure that the sweater fits you at that point of the pattern, I recommend to try it on, so by putting the stitches on a stitch holder or on a piece of scrap yarn, as I explained already for the collar. So you try it on, and what is important is that, so you have here the front and the sleeve, and you have here the 2 stitches for the sleeve. The 2 stitch marker for the sleeve, sorry. So the important thing is that when we will bring this 2 stitch marker together, so when I pinch here this 2 stitch marker, the important is that I feel comfortable and I have enough space for my arm and for my body when I pinch here. So in the pattern it might be indicated, depending on the size, that you will need to add a few stitches between these 2 stitch markers, so it will be a little bit larger than it is right now. So you can see how many stitches you have to add and take that into account. So if you think it's fine, for example here I have enough space for my arm and for my body, so if it fits you, you can continue the pattern and continue with this video where I will show you how to separate the body and the sleeves. If it's too tight, I recommend knitting a larger size, so you will continue the increases a little bit more until you have the right amount of stitches for your arm and body. I will now show you how to separate the body from the sleeves. So the idea of the raglan structure in the round is that we first create a big circle for the yoke that we have here. And this circle will be separated in 3 circles, 1 for the body and 1 for each sleeve. So we will first knit the body and then we will knit each sleeve. So we will separate the circle, the big circle, this way, so in 1 circle for the sleeve, then there will be 1 circle for the body and the last circle for the second sleeve. So we will create 3 circles out of the first one. So first I will put my work back on my needles. We are now at the beginning of the round of the separation, on the right side of the work, so we will have to knit all the stitches. So just after the marker of the beginning of the round, we will start by adding the stitches that will be between the sleeve and the body. So you simply cast on the right needle the number of stitches indicated in the pattern. So for that you just create simple loops on the right needle, and in my case I will cast on 4 stitches. Then there are the stitches from the sleeve. As I said, we will start by knitting the body, so we will put the stitches of the sleeves aside for the moment. So to do that, you can either use a stitch holder or you can use a piece of scrap yarn on the needle, and you will slip all the stitches from the sleeve on this yarn, like this. And I will be using the stitch holder, so I will simply attach it to the needle and slip on it all the stitches from the sleeve. So I put all my stitches on the stitch holder until reaching the stitch marker for the end of the sleeve. I can remove that stitch marker. And I will close that. Then we will knit the front following the pattern, using the same yarn as the one that we used to cast on the stitches. So we will bring these stitches here and we will knit them with the yarn that we have on our right needle. So we simply knit them like that, and you see that will close the first sleeve. We reached the stitch marker indicating the beginning of the second sleeve, so we will do the same as we just did. So we can remove that stitch marker. We will add the stitches between the body and the sleeve. So I will, on my right needle, cast on the number of stitches indicated in the pattern. So here 4. And in the same way as before, I will slip all the stitches from the sleeve on a stitch holder or on a piece of scrap yarn. I can remove that stitch marker and close the cable. And now we have the stitches for the back. So using the yarn that we just used to cast on the stitches, we will knit the stitches from the back. Which again will close the second sleeve. I finished knitting the stitches for the back, so I will simply slip that marker. Well, I will change for another more beautiful marker. So now my marker will be the yellow mushroom because it's my favorite. So now we will just continue knitting the body in the round, following the pattern. And here we have the stitches that we just casted on. So we will simply knit them as we would knit the other stitches. now you just continue following the pattern in the round, and you see here that we have one sleeve. We will need the circle of the body, and we have the second sleeve here. So for now we will just focus on the body, and we will see later how to continue the sleeves once we finish the body. Once you finished working on the body and you reached the point where it tells you to start the ribbing, I recommend try the sweater on to see if you like the length of the body, knowing that we will add a few centimeters of ribbing, so you can see in the pattern how many centimeters of ribbing there is, and take that into account to see if you like the length. So if you prefer it crop or long, you can adapt on your tastes. So if you're satisfied with the length now, you can start the ribbing. Otherwise, you can add a few more rounds of stockinette stitch before starting the ribbing. Before starting the ribbing for the body, you need to switch to the smaller needles, so 4.5mm needles. And so you will do ribbing rounds, so knit stitch, purl stitch, knit, purl, all around until you made the number of ribbing round indicated in the pattern, or until you reach the length that you want for the body.
Oh God, please tell me I'm not the only one who's in this situation. Just when I think of you, my fingers started shaking. I've known you for 2 days, I'm sorry I forgot your name, and it's not your fault, but just believe my heart is breaking into two. I want you, I want you,
The ribbing, and we'll now do the bind off. So you can use the type of bind off that you prefer. but I will show you here how to do the Jeny's surprisingly elastic bind off, which is, as its name indicates, a really elastic bind off, so I like it to make to keep the elastic grip. So how it works is here we have a knit stitch. So before making a knit stitch, we will make a yarn over from the back to the front. Then we knit this stitch. And then we will make this one, this yarn over that we just added, slip over this one. So we take it and we slip it over the stitch. Then we have a purl stitch. So we will make a yarn over again, but this time we will make it from the front to the back, like this. And we will purl this stitch. So now we have 3 stitches, the purl we just made, the yarn over, and the stitch from before. And we will make these 2 stitches, we will make them slip over this one. So we'll start with this one, so I take it over the purl stitch, and same for this one. So we only have 1 stitch left. And then we continue like this. Here we have a knit stitch. So when we have a knit stitch, we make a yarn over from the back to the front. We knit this stitch. And then these 2 stitches go over this one. 1, 2. Then it's a purl stitch, so yarn over from the front to the back. We purl. And these 2 stitches go over. Then it's a knit stitch, so yarn over from the back to the front. We knit. And these 2 go over this one, etc. until we have no stitches left.
I know that it just ain't gonna